Morning, Jussie Smollett.
Jussie Smollett.
Jussie Smollett.
Jussie Smollett.
Oh, shut up. We are all sick of hearing about Jussie Smollett. Or are we?
There's just a couple of points that I wanted to make really quick.
Jussie Smollett isn't mentally ill. He's a privileged performer. He makes approximately $65K an episode on what's actually an international show. I don't think many Americans realize that show was played in other countries. It was played in Australia for a little while. Despite this, no one actually really knew who he was. He wasn't a household name. And the show kind of had a reputation for being crap. Despite being on the silver screen, the guy's chops evidently weren't that tight, because if they were, he would have been better known, and he would have been cast in other things. His post-attack speeches and interviews are now confirmed performances. They reveal several things about him. One, the actual level of his acting skills, which are pretty low bar, let me tell you, for someone who's been trained in acting for 7+ years. Yeah, I know what I'm looking at. Number two, who he really is. Ironically, while he's wearing his actor's mask. 3, it also reveals the flaws in his story, of course. Although many of us saw these things prior to the gay Tupac claims, but his interviews and his speeches really cemented it in my mind that this guy was putting on a show, putting on an act.
That's it, because it's the truth. Mm-hmm. Then it became a thing of like, oh, how can you doubt that? Like, how do you not believe that? It's the truth. And then it became a thing of like, oh, it's not necessarily that you don't believe that this is the truth. You don't even want to see the truth.
And he's just doing that shitty actory, like just fucking shitty acting class shit. That horse shit. I was there.
Because I was there.
Bitch, please!
What he's done is on par with false rape allegations. It was said on the Joe Rogan podcast that Jussie was willing to let 2 white men seen on CCTV and subsequently arrested take the fall for his hoax.
Because the detective said to him, we have 2 suspects on camera. Do you think it's them? He's like, yeah.
The police have gone through a lot of video and they were able to capture an image of 2 people of interest. Have you seen that image? Mm-hmm. And do you believe that they could possibly be the attackers?
I do.
What is it about their size, or why do you feel that they could possibly be?
Because I was there. I don't have any doubt in my mind that that's them.
Then he found out it's his 2 buddies, and he's like, well, I can't testify against them. He was going to testify against 2 people who they thought were guilty.
That takes it to another level.
Yeah, and then Fox is like, well, hey, he's good on the show. We stand behind him.
That takes it to a completely different
level.
Dude,
there would be people in jail right now. He wouldn't care.
Imagine being those 2 guys who are just sitting in jail like, what the fuck? You're on the cover of the New York Post, nabbed them, got him. And they're sitting there like, what the fuck? And everybody wants to kick their ass.
When you listen back to his interviews and his speeches, do you honestly think there's a line he wouldn't cross at this point? He did all of this for a higher paycheck. Not to call attention to a system that no longer exists. And anyone who claims that, well, that's a cover story or a lie, or both. Not only that, but once it was revealed that his quote-unquote attackers were Nigerian, it seemed like, for a while at least, that he was willing to let them take the fall for him as well. I suspect the only reason he turned himself in was because he knew there was so much evidence stacked against him that he'd never be believed. This entire thing has so many greater implications than just the truth of who Jussie Smollett is as a person. Firstly, it continues to make white men look horrible and racist. It implicates all Trump supporters. The media chose to ignore another opportunity to address black-on-black crime. And some people are saying that this whole thing is going to perpetuate the idea that future victims now won't be believed or they'll be under greater scrutiny.
Bitch, please!
There's no way someone who claims to be oppressed is not going to be believed by a progressive. I mean, look at what they're doing right now. They're trying to excuse what Jussie Smollett did. Some have said that he was trying to call out or fight against a system keeping him down. You know, that's why apparently he was getting paid not as much as he thought he was worth. That maybe he just went about this all the wrong way. And others have made him the victim by saying he's being convicted without a fair trial. I mean, the left is just too far gone at this point. They're willing to defend absolutely anything. Having said this, though, I do believe that a healthy amount of skepticism will remain in some sectors, and I don't believe that Jussie Smollett has opened the floodgates for fake hate crimes. At best, however, innocent men would have gone to jail over this. At worst, this could have incited a race war. By choosing to script in the noose, the lynching, something historically specific to black and white people, he made this a direct hit on white men. No white lawyer, if he has any sense of dignity or self-worth, should represent this callous racist. Don't you dare excuse his crime with suggestions of poor mental health. Jussie Smollett is not mentally ill. He's devious. He's a narcissist and a sociopath. Anyone who's seen or read Gone Girl will understand what I mean. Of course, Gone Girl takes sociopathy right to the border of psychopathy, but despite that, it's an intimate look into the calculating machine that is the mind of a narcissist and a sociopath. Jussie planned, rehearsed, paid for, and executed this hoax. He wasn't acting erratically. He was acting calculatingly. He knew exactly what he was doing. He was playing the current social climate where victims are awarded hero status so that he personally could benefit career-wise and financially. That is devious. But to bring in innocent parties and potentially let them take the fall for you is completely evil. But you know, you're still a privileged man when you commit a felony and the first proposed punishment is an apology. This is the derangement of the left affecting criminal justice now. Jussie Smollett needs to go to jail. He should see the same amount of time those two white men would have seen had they been charged for this. No question. The same can be said about any woman who makes a false rape allegation. Fair is fair. Jussie Smollett is an asshole, not a desperate victim.
I gave a body description, and because I saw this, right here or whatever, but I can't tell you what color their eyes were. I can't tell you. And I did not see anything except the second person I saw running away. And you have to understand also that it's Chicago in winter. People can wear ski masks and nobody's going to question that because I was there, honestly. I can't tell you honestly.